Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Michelle, and today I'm going to be creating a look with my YUCCA palette by request. First, I'm going to go ahead and do my full face of makeup because I like to do my eyes after my foundation, even though that's not really the best for fallout, but that's just the way I like to do my makeup. I'm going to pull my hair back. Let's get into it. Speaking of hair, do you notice anything different? Yeah, a lot of things have changed in life lately, and so I figured it was time for my hair to catch up with all those changes. And yeah, so dyed my hair. I'm a little sad. I do miss my grays. I loved my gray streak, and I'll probably grow it back out like at some point. But for the time being, I'm going to be a dark-haired girly. I'm going to go ahead and actually start off with under makeup moisturizer because lately I have noticed, ooh, I'm getting low on this. Lately, I have noticed that I have been skipping that because my skin feels very normal and balanced. And I don't feel like I need to add, like I haven't felt the need to add the moisturization layer, but my makeup doesn't go on as good. Like it doesn't look as good for as long throughout the day, and probably because I don't have that under makeup moisturizer going on. So I'm going to go back to starting off with my under makeup moisturizer. That is my go-to under makeup moisturizer. It gives me just enough moisturization to where I don't feel like it doesn't soak in and it doesn't interfere with my makeup throughout the day. I live in a humid state. It's not like Florida kind of humidity, but I live in Texas and we do have humidity. So I can't wear a moisturizer that is gonna like interfere with the level of humidity and make me feel kind of overly dewy or balmy, sweaty throughout the day, you know? I know that's not really like a popular face lotion anymore. It's kind of like people consider it maybe old-fashioned or whatever. But yeah, I've been using this for decades and I love it. I was just giving my lotion a moment to soak in. While we're doing that, let me just take a look at my YUCCA palette. It's been a little bit since I've used it, not all that long actually. I recently by recently I mean like probably last month or the month before, pulled it out and considered using it. I can't remember. I don't think I even used a shade from it after all. I ended up just using my Safari palette. So yeah, if you want to see what look I did with the Safari palette, I'll link that video down below in the description box for you. But I'm excited to play with my YUCCA palette today. I love this palette. I love the colors. I love the vibe. And I love the fact that I have these colors from Natasha Denona. So I'm excited to pull this one out again and create a really fun fall look. I'm going to be using my Rare Beauty, the pore blurring. I have the pore blurring version. Okay. Yeah. My face is still trying to get over the last bits. Like you can see it's going away, but still not looking the best. It's trying to get over the last bits of the reaction that I had to the Too Faced bronzer. Yeah, I have sensitive skin, and so I tend to react to a lot of ingredients that they've been adding into makeup lately. And so sadly, I had to declutter that bronzer that I recently picked up. If you missed my recent declutter and you want to see what all has left my makeup collection, I'll leave that video down below for you too. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with my foundation. And today I am going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way. Have a little fuzz that just landed on my hair. Before I get into all of that, I mean, it is morning time and I need to drink some of my second cup of coffee. This is my second cup of coffee. I haven't even started it yet. I just prepared it and then sat down to do my makeup for the day. And now it's not quite as hot as I usually prefer my coffee to be, but that's fine. I'm going to use my Rose and Bend foundation brush. I used a different soap this time than my usual beauty blender, and so I'm just looking to see if I feel like it did a good job. I feel like, yeah, it did clean for the most part. It is a lot more of, like, not for the most part, but it looks clean. It is a lot more of an affordable option than my Beauty Blender Pro cleanser is, brush cleanser. So that's a plus. Yeah, if you're curious to know what it is that I was using, comment down below and I can go look and see what the name of it was and leave that there for you. I saw that Rose and Bend brushes were restocked recently, and I'm not gonna lie, I had been waiting for that restock so that I could get a couple of the brushes that sold out before I was on board with the idea of trying this brush brand. But then, before the restock happened, I hit this wall in my shopping and in my life, kind of like in my mentality and my perspective and my approach. Follow me here, okay? Stay with me. This is going to take a few like twists and turns, as most of my stories usually do, most of my experiences usually do. So I was waiting to repurchase these brushes, and I wanted to add the rest of the ones that I didn't have to my collection so I could complete my brush set, because I have really been suffering from suffering. I use that term loosely. It's just kind of like a phrase, how I'm going to use it. I've been suffering from collector's mentality. Anybody else with me? Let me know down below. Do you suffer from that too? Or have you ever, where you not feel like you have to have like the whole series of everything or whatever, but like sometimes when I will really like a product, I'll end up that like, or like a brand or whatever, kind of like the Natasha Denona palettes, the Pat McGrath motherships, certain brands of makeup brushes. I will end up liking something that I tried so much that I end up really wanting everything within that line. And it's kind of gotten me to where I have a lot of stuff now. And I recently hit like a wall where I just feel like I have too much. I feel like I have too much stuff, and yeah, I feel like this might just be an American thing. So let me know if you're watching from a different place in the world, if people in your country kind of feel like this too. But here in America, and I'm not going to say everybody, this is very much a generalization, but American culture tends to kind of be like, oh, buy more, and then you kind of like outgrow your house, and then you like will be like, oh, I need a new house, I need a bigger house to hold all my stuff. And then when you're looking for a new house, you get a really much bigger house so that you have room to grow into it too, not just to hold all the stuff that you've already accumulated. And it's like people just tend to fill up their houses more and more. Now, I'm not talking fill up like hoarder style. If you've seen the Hoarders TV show on A&E, I'm not talking like that. I just mean like not having very minimal things, you know? And believe it or not, like your drawers get full, your closet can get full. You know, your like laundry cabinets, your kitchen cabinets, and you just get to where you don't really have extra space to like move things around comfortably while you're looking for things or to add more. Anyway, so that leads me back to the brushes. She restocked the brushes recently, and now I'm going to use my concealer, also the Too Faced. This is in the shade Almond. Can't remember what shade this one is. Oh, Warm Nude. So these are the shades in these products that I'm using today. So anyways, she restocked the brushes, and I had been waiting for them. I feel like I should have done a little bit of corrector before I went that light, because I'm darker than I used to be. And I forget this because I haven't been doing my makeup that much lately. So I'm kind of getting back into the groove of doing my makeup. So you'll have to forgive me for like any mistakes that I make. I'm just kind of getting back into the groove of it. Anyway, let me just finish my story and just do my makeup for the sake of, you know, getting on with it. So Rose and Ben restocked the brushes, and there's really only two that I want, because the third one that I want didn't get restocked yet. I don't know if it's ever going to or whatever, but and so I'm really tempted. Like after my, not even after, but before my recent declutter, which again will be linked down below for you if you missed it. Before even the declutter, I had kind of like hit a wall to where I just feel like I have too much stuff, and I just don't want to purchase more things. That's just generally how I am. I don't want to own more things. I don't want to buy more things. I mean, I still want the things that are coming out. Like, you know, there's a lot of holiday palettes and stuff that have started to be released. And like, I'm still like, ooh, I would like that, you know, but I don't actually like want to go and get it, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at. And it's not just with makeup or palettes specifically. That's kind of where I'm at with like a lot of things right now. I've just like hit this wall. I just have too many things. I'm surrounded by too much stuff, and I feel a little bit overwhelmed. And so I'm just kind of like getting to the point where I don't really want to add anything else. And so even though these brushes that I've been wanting are back in stock, hold on, let me just focus still on the complexion. I'm like wanting to fix my lips because I don't like the way my lips look with foundation with nothing else on them. But let me just finish blending out my concealer and all of that. Yeah, so I've just been really tempted to maybe place an order and get those last two brushes, but then I'm like, I really don't need them. And I'm good with brushes from other brands in a similar style. And so I'm like, yeah, even though I do really like the Rose and Ben brushes, that doesn't mean that I need to like have every single one, you know? So I'm trying not to order. I am very tempted though. I'm gonna just set my under eyes real quick. Oh, there's one of my gray hairs. I won't see that for a while again. I miss my gray hairs. I'm not gonna lie, I do miss it. But I do like the way that my hair looks, and I think that it turned out pretty good. And the gray hairs will grow back, no worries. If I really miss it, I can just let it grow back out. My hair grows pretty quick for the most part. Yeah, and so my point is I'm going to resist buying those brushes, okay? And the holiday palettes, like that Pat McGrath palette that came out. Comment down below if you picked it up. No shade to you if you did, you know? I mean, like, I am pretty surprised that I'm resisting it. It doesn't feel very hard, though, is the surprising part. So that tells me that, yeah, I've just, like, I don't want anything else right now. I'm good. You know what I mean? I want to just use what I have. And so that leads me to today's video. I'm really enjoying using my Shop My Stash makeup products and getting some use out of the palettes that are in my collection already. So that's been really nice. I'm going to go into some bronzer now. And I'm going to kind of do it a little bit, not overly exaggerated, because I have been kind of getting a little crazy with the bronzer lately. And I need to just try to chill a little bit. If you've been curious about the difference between the Rose and Bend brush 40C or 40.5C, like if it's worth getting the smaller one if you had the bigger one, I'm going to say yes. Because the bigger one is really nice for like a more diffused product, but this one here, as you can see, is a lot better for like cream, just because the brush is a little bit denser, the fibers are a little bit shorter, and it's not really, well, yeah, it just feels denser because the bristles are shorter. And so it just works a lot better for me personally for cream products than the big one did. The big one I didn't really like for cream products at all, but I did really, really like it. I do really, really like it for powder. And so I apologize. I've got mirrors, like an enlarged mirror here in front of me and then like a lighted mirror over here. So just like the regular size. So I apologize that the way that I'm looking keeps changing and I'm moving all around. Hopefully it just helps you get a good view of the makeup though as the look is coming together. This has a little bit of my concealer on it, and I think that might help to blend this in nicely. So I'm going to just like use this to kind of blend out the bronzer on my nose a little bit. Okay. I think that looks great for the cream. Still going to add some powder. Oh wait, I want to do my cream blush before I add the powder. Trying to be more mindful of the order that I put stuff in, since I'm like really out of the habit of doing my makeup, and I'm like just trying to get back into the like my proper flow. Not that there's really a wrong or a right way to do it. You can, you know, do whatever you want, but I'm just saying kind of is better to do all your cream layers before you start adding in the powders. So, okay, now I'm going to do some bronzer. Let me use this big one. Got to be gentle when I touch this bronzer here, because as you can see, she's really pigmented. It's a very, very deep shade, and especially going on to the like wet bronzer, it'll really hold, but that's kind of the point. And I pulled some hairs onto my face. Hold on. So that is one plus already that I've noticed about not having my gray hairs at the top of my head or like around my circumference anymore. It's not so obvious when I get makeup on my hairline now, and it's fine for me to just like go up into my hairline because the white hairs aren't getting colored with makeup. And so it's easy to just like wipe off the edges from here like this. So that's one plus. I'm going to use the blush from this palette, and I think I'm going to use this one here with my Rose and Bend blush brush. Okay. Lastly, I'm just going to keep it really simple on the brows today. I don't even feel like filling them in. I can't be bothered. Plus, my brow pencil that I have is in like a light shade, kind of like a more ashy shade, since my hair looked a lot lighter with all my gray hairs in it. And so like my eyebrow pencil doesn't match my hair anymore. It makes my eyebrows too light. So I probably need to get a little bit of a darker eyebrow pencil, but I might not even mess with it. I might just go back to using an eyeshadow from one of my palettes, because that'll help me get more use out of my product. And why spend the money when I have something I can use, you know? Yeah, so let me just, oh, didn't I just say I wasn't going to use this? Force of habit to reach for this to fill it in. My bad. Okay. Next, I think I am going to go ahead and do my lips now. This is MAC Stone. I think I meant to get Cork, honestly, but it was just right here, so whatever. Okay. And I'm using the Cool Brown from ABH. I do like the way that lip liner goes with this lipstick. Overlined it just a little bit. Fuck. Dude, how do people do this, man? Seriously. Like, I need the production assistant to be here to place my merchandising for me. Okay. I probably won't use that shot, but all right. I do feel the need to set the rest of my face though, so let me go ahead and do that real quick also. Right here. My hourglass brush for my hourglass powder. Now I feel like I'm ready to move on to the eyes. I can just find my eye primer brush. This one will work. I'm going to use this BK Beauty Nikki LaRose little concealer paw brush for my paint pot. And I'm just going to get my eyes primed and we'll get started with the look. All right. So I am ready to get started with the eye look. I think I'm going to get started with this shade here in the crease, just so that the look doesn't start off being too grungy green, because that's how I usually start my looks with this palette, is with the grungy green. This brush might actually be a little bit too not fluffy enough for me to have gotten started, but I'm going to go ahead and just start then as my darker shade and not do this as my crease. I'm going to do this more as like my outer corner for a minute. I really have no plan or idea what kind of a look I'm going to do, so we'll just see what unfolds, and hopefully it'll turn out okay. Honestly, that's pretty much how I always start my looks, is just kind of like, I mean, sometimes I will have a little bit of a vision of what I might want to do, but not always. or maybe like not so much as a vision, but more of like an idea of what colors I want to play with. Today, I'm not even really sure what colors I'm going to go for, but let's just see what happens. Okay, I really think that's beautiful. Honestly, I don't think I've ever started a look with that shade in my crease from this palette. And I am not sure why, because that is a really pretty, like almost neutral kind of a crease. Okay, that was a good start. I do feel the need to just do a little cleanup here on my vanity so I don't lose my brushes. Hold on one second. If I lose them, I mean get them mixed up with other brushes from other looks that I've created. Because like I will go back and reuse my brushes throughout the look, which is why I don't like to put multiple colors onto one brush. Where's a dirty cup? Okay. Yeah, I do really like the way that looks. I want to just V it out a little bit so I have a little bit of a... Yeah, I think that looks so pretty. All right, next I'm going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush. This one I barely touched something onto it, but it doesn't really like have any color on it or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. And I'm honestly really curious. I want to see how this shade here will mix, like blend with that one, kind of up here on the outer edge. I just want to bring it a little bit more grungy towards the top, not necessarily in my crease, but just towards that like top edge of that shade that is in my crease. That's pretty. I can see it starting to like change the vibe of the whole look. Just instead of it being more like brown, it's starting to go a little bit more like pukey green. And I mean that in the best way. I think I'm going to bring that also a little bit here towards the front. What I like about the Natasha Denona palette, palettes, her formula in general, is that like you don't need a whole lot of product in order to get some payoff. And then you can like build up by tapping in a couple of more times instead of just once, you know? And so I feel like it gives you a lot of flexibility as to how much pigment you want to use. Okay. I feel like that really changed the vibe of the look. Oh yeah, wow, look at that. It looks a lot different when I go from looking at the enlarged mirror to looking at the regular one. So I like to check it in both mirrors as I'm going. Okay. Okay. This is a squirrel haired brush, and it's probably gonna pick up the color very, very delicately. So we'll have to see how that works out. But I think next I wanna do, this is probably not gonna be the move that everybody else would do. Like a part of me wants to go for this deep green as the deepening up shade, but I feel like the brown is more of like the standard go-to look that everybody else would be using. Let me stick with the brown. Am I right? I wish you could tell me right now if I should smoke it out with the green or the brown. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the brown. I just feel like the look will be more cohesive that way. So, okay. I'm going to just kind of smoke it out at an angle and just kind of keep it to this little corner right there. Wow, this brush is so soft and beautiful. My goodness. I don't think these are available anymore, sadly. But yeah, it was pretty pricey anyway, so it's just as well. I don't want to be tempted by them anymore. I'm happy to at least have like what I have, you know? Okay. Wow, I feel like that really amped up the smoky level, and it looks so pretty in my opinion. All right, from here, I'm gonna take a shader, like a flat shader brush, not super flat. You can see it's got like a little bit of a puff to it, but I'm gonna take that into, this is the shade that I tend to gravitate towards the most. And I think that's the shade that I like to use as the inner corner highlight. Or maybe if I remember correctly, I usually use like a fun pop of color for the inner corner highlight. And I might do that again today. So I think the color I want to add is this really beautiful green. Let's go with this fun green. I feel like I haven't used this one enough. Let's just see what this one does. I'm going to keep it out here and try not to oh my God. Try not to overpower my sideways little smoky brown over there. Oh, wow. That's really pretty. Trying to keep it like simple towards the inner corner itself, because which one did I use? This one, I think, because I don't want shimmer getting off into my eye. Whoops, I got it a little bit too intense towards the front compared to the other side. See how over here I have it a little bit more like soft and ethereal, and now here I have it very like pronounced. I'm gonna have to place it here and make it match so that they look the same, and this one looks more intentional instead of like a mistake. Even though it kind of was a mistake. I didn't mean to go that bold. I wanted to kind of try to keep it ethereal like the other eye, but it's fine. Okay. I do really, really like the way that looks. Oh my gosh. All right. Now I'm going to go back into that first brush that was for in my crease and just soften up the edge of that shadow carefully. I don't want to really put a bunch of shimmer up into my crease, but I just wanted to work it into the matte a little bit. Okay, I really like the way that looks. And next, I want to figure out a shade for, hold on, let me go back over and add just a little bit more of the deep brown here to really like accentuate that little angle after I put that shimmer over it. Okay. There we go. I really, really like that. I think for the bottom, I would like to do a fun, let's go with the green. The green might be a little bit too much, but let's just do it anyway. I'm going to actually do it on this teeny, teeny, tiny little super skinny pencil so that maybe you won't even see that it's green except for up close. And so that way I can still blend like a more neutral shade into it too. Because this brush is so skinny, it keeps the green from really overpowering the look and being too thick of a line to where it really like draws attention to the green instead of it just being a nice little like peekaboo moment up close. Okay, let me look at it. Yeah, I do really like that a lot. And then I just accentuated a little bit more on the outer edge. And then same brush, since it's so skinny, I don't think it'll matter that much. I'm going to load it up with the brown and create a little bit of a line here at the top, just to really anchor the lashes and make it obvious that I'm trying to do a little brown smoky wing with the shadow there. I love the way that that looks. Hold on, I know I just closed it like I'm done, but I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna take this little bitty, it's like a miniature shader, and I'm gonna use it for my lower lash line. And I'm gonna use that same shade that is in my crease to start off with here on the lower lash line. Kind of like underneath, hugged up in towards the green. I don't really want to blend them together and make it muddy, but I just want it like right underneath it. That one got a little bit too low. So I'm gonna have to like thicken up the outer side, the other side, and make it look like that was an intentional low brown on the outer edge. Okay. All right, we are almost done. I know I keep closing it. I don't know why. Hold on. Let me get a little bit more coffee. Okay, for the inner corner highlight, I want to do this fun, kind of unexpected little bright, grungy yellow-green. Might not be the prettiest color right there, but I just feel like it highlights this fun green vibe. Yeah, that wasn't it, Michelle. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of this over that matte and see if I can just get a little bit of sparkle. Yeah, that really helped to brighten it up. So now I don't mind that there's that like grungy green underneath it because there's a little bit of sparkle in it. Okay. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. So here is the eyeshadow look, all done with the YUCCA palette. Now I'm going to go off screen and add some finishing touches for my members only. There is a monthly fee to join my membership to my channel, but that's where I like to share like the different eyeliners and just bringing the eye look together, as well as like members only try to get ready with me's and things like that. So if you'd like to see additional content from me, be sure to join my membership for a monthly fee. You can cancel at any time, but it really would mean so much to me. Otherwise, I will be right back to show you the completed eye look. Okay, friends, here is the finished look. Let me know what you think. I will give you a close-up of the eyes. Really quickly though, let's recap which shades I used. I used this shade here in the crease. Then I used this above that, just really softly and like on the outer edge and a little bit more towards the middle. Then I smoked it out with this beautiful brown shade here. I used this shade on the lid. This one on the inner corner, topped with that one too. And then I used this shade on my lower lash line with a super, super thin brush and added this underneath it just to kind of make the top and the bottom a little bit more cohesive. And here is the finished look. Let me zoom you in. Okay, so that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me put my hair down and see how the whole look comes together. That's gonna be today's look. I love the way the look turned out. I really enjoy playing with my YUCCA palette. Every single time I pull this palette out, I never really know what kind of a look I'm gonna go for, but I always end up having so much fun. And I really love the variety of combinations that you can achieve with this very unique color story. And I really appreciate having these shades in the Natasha Denona formula, because Natasha Denona are my favorite eyeshadow palettes by far. And I loved having a chance to play with this one again today. So thank you so much to you who requested this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everyone else enjoyed it too. If you did, please be sure to click the like button. It really does help my small channel out so much, and it helps the AI algorithm know that you would like to see content from me in your feed. So if you don't click the like button, you're not going to get to see the videos that I post come through your feed. So click the like button for me, and make sure you're subscribed before you go so I can see you in my next video. Bye.